Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Branding Talk Concert. This is Su Winsing. I'm from Singapore and I'm currently living in Korea. And I'll be the MC for this entire series of Youth Branding Talk Concert. So, what is Youth Branding Talk Concert? Youth Branding Talk Concert is a whole series of people from youths from different countries. So we've got Singapore for the very first month, and then we'll have Canada and also from China and for other cities that you want to hear from. So together with all of these cities, we'll come together and talk about the differences we have, the similarities we have, interesting things that we have. And at the same time, we're going to talk all in English as part of Global If Land Friends. So with that, maybe some of you guys who want to know more about the different languages too, you can come and join us together. So this is an entire Global eFriends series together with Youth Branding Talk Concert as well as SK Telecom IFLand. So if you are here and you can hear me, why not you take out your phone and you want to wave to me and say hi like this? Yes, like this, exactly. Yes, exactly. Let's do one more time. Can we say hi to each other like this? Okay, welcome James, and I see Ubin VE. Welcome, welcome. You can take a seat. You can take a seat wherever you are. And then yeah, so for those who just came in, I'll just introduce again. This is Youth Branding Talk Concert. We're gonna have a different theme every month about different countries and different interesting things that we have for different countries. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, for the first one today, we're actually talking about my own country. I'm the host for this entire series. Today, I'll be the only one here. But for next week, next series onwards, you will see different people joining me together. You will be seeing people from Canada, seeing people from China, seeing people from Singapore, my other friends, and even people from other countries that you want to see. And I just want to know, where are you guys from? Can we have not Cole underscore James? We have Yubins underscore VE. Maybe if you're from Korea, you can just raise your hand. 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. If you are from other countries, you can just raise your hand together, show me some heart. Yes. Exactly. Okay, without further ado, let's step into the first introduction of Singapore. So what is Singapore like and what exactly is Singapore? A lot of times, I came to Korea 2 years ago and I tell people I'm from Singapore and they are just like, wait, where is that? And I even have other foreigner friends who I tell them I'm from Singapore, like, oh, I'm from overseas too, I speak English too, I'm from Singapore. And they're just like, where is Singapore? And I just got that, in fact, just a week ago when I was talking to a Korean American friend. And yeah, so today I'll share with you a little bit about what Singapore is. And if you have any questions about Singapore, you can always come and join me. Oh, we have new friends joining us, I see. We have you keep running. Persimmon 67, welcome, and I hope you have an enjoyable time today. Okay, Singapore is a country that is not very old. It's only set up in 1965, and I would like to put disclaimer before this entire series starts that I am not an expert in history, in politics, or anything. I'm just a person who has lived in Singapore for many years and now living in Korea and have been living in different countries before. So this is the global perspective that I want to introduce together. So for Singapore, it all started out with this very interesting story that we still don't know if it's true or not. So if you have watched Youth Branding Concert before, we actually talked about it a little bit back then when I appeared on the show, that there's this person called Sangnila Utama. He's actually a Srivijayan prince, and then he came and he saw a really weird thing. It was a creature that had a fish like tail, but then it has also a lion head, and that was a creature that nobody knew what it was. It was a Malayan, right? So that's what they gave the name to after that, which is now the icon of Singapore actually. But with that, like, he just followed that creature, and that creature led him to this undiscovered land, and that was what we know now as Singapore. So he's actually the first person who founded the kingdom of Singapura, and with that, he actually had reign over different three big places: Java, Sumatra, and Singapore. And then with that, it just went on and on and on until the 19th century. Then the next big person come. Okay, before I move on in this introduction of Singapore, I just want to welcome our new friends here. We have Boniato65. If you are here and you're understanding what I'm saying, would you please raise your hand and just give a little bit of a wave? 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. Yes. All right. So continuing on, we have this Sir Stamford Raffles, and he is actually a British. We call him a knight. He's a British knight who came to Singapore. He was actually on his way to have a job in India. He's the one who's controlling and managing all the trade in East India. And then on his way to Calcutta, actually, he came and then he found Singapore. But the thing is, the interesting thing is, at that time, Singapore is actually not anything belonging to the British. It was actually belonging to the Dutch, and there's a lot of Dutch trade, and Dutch basically wanted to take over Singapore. But at that time, Sir Stamford Raffles, who came as a British representative, he came in and he was like risking all of these relations, and he wants to set up a trade treaty with Singapore. So he came to Singapore and he did that, and that's actually one of the most important turning points of the entire history of Singapore. Wow, we have a lot of new friends. Okay, I'll take out my phone too. Can we all wave and say hi to each other? Yes. Hello, hello. 안녕하세요. Thank you so much. Yes, this is actually not easy, just like seeing all of these avatars moving around. I wish I could see you guys face to face, whoever that's looking. Thank you so much for the heart. Yeah, hi. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's actually means a lot to me because I want to speak to you guys. Hi, Ada. And I don't see you, but I see your beautiful avatars, and I believe that's exactly how you look. Thank you so much for the heart. That is awesome. All right, is this interesting so far? Am I speaking too fast or am I speaking too slow? Just let me know down in the chatting box, and then I will adjust the speed accordingly. If this history is too boring, I can just quickly get it through and talk about the questions that you have. If you have any questions, please just drop it down in the chatting box too, and I'll just answer the questions along and see. 만약에 질문이 있으신다면 항상 채팅에서 언제든지 쳐주시면 제가 질문들에도 같이 답하겠습니다. 아쿠나마. I know what that means. What is your name? Is that what it means? My name in Korean over there is Winnie. It says Winnie Winnie. My name is Winnie in English. And I live in Korea now. I am from Singapore. Okay. Get the introduction out of the way. So I was talking about the Sir Stamford Raffles, yeah. So he came and he made a huge change to Singapore because trade is actually a very important part of Singapore. So if you see today, Singapore is a really small country on the map. You see Malaysia, you see Indonesia, you see India, and then there's only Singapore is a little red dot, which is what we pride ourselves as too. We call ourselves the little red dot because even though we're small, we actually have a lot of things inside. And Singapore speaks various different languages. We have English is our lingua franca, and that's actually an interesting story behind that too, and I'll get that to you later. We speak English as our lingua franca, and then we speak our different mother tongues. So I speak Chinese, Mandarin, because my ancestors are Chinese, and then there's the Malays, and there is the Indians, there is the Europeans, there's the Eurasians, the mix of Europeans and Asians, and yeah, there's like a bunch of other different ethnicities, and all of us we live together in this place, this little place called Singapore, and we speak English, or rather Singlish all together. And for the language part, it will be very interesting, and I'll get that together with the history part that will bind along, and you'll understand why. So for the back to Sir Stamford Raffles, I'm going everywhere. Back to Sir Stamford Raffles from the 19th century. He came and he set up this entire trade, and it's an important part because Singapore needs this trade to survive as a small country. So at that time, it wasn't even a country yet, but he came and that happened. And then you continue on, he went back to his reign in Indonesia, and then he came back again. And then yeah, from then on, Singapore has grown and grown. And then there's another important person in history. He's actually our first Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. And I'm actually really surprised because when I came to Korea, there's actually so many people who know about Lee Kuan Yew and the politics and all the good things that happened behind it. And they ask me about it. And I'm just really proud to hear that Singapore and our history and our governance, things that we pride ourselves as a country, is actually worldwide and global. And I believe that global difference, this is something that we want to see as well. All of these good things from different countries come together and we share with each other. I think that's important. Yeah, so Mr. Lee Kuan Yew was our first prime minister. A little bit about him. He's actually he studied law back in the UK. He went to LSE. Oh, hi, new friends. This is Lion Sujin. 안녕하세요. I think you're Korean, right? Welcome. This is Youth Branding Talk Concert, and we're having our Global Youth Friends talk. Now we're talking about Singapore, and I hope you enjoy this time here. Yeah, I just want to just show a little bit of hi to you. 안녕하세요. Yeah. All right. So with that, he studied in the London School of Economics, LSE, and then he studied law. He came back, and with all of that he learned, he used it onto Singapore, and he made Singapore a lot better from then. So there are a lot of things that he started that's very legendary. So one of which would be what I told you earlier about how we speak both English and our mother tongue. He's a firm believer that we have to keep our bilingualism, and in order to let the whole country strive, we have to speak a lingua franca that is used by the whole world. And that's exactly what I'm speaking now. It's English. And with that, the whole economy went up from there because we are able to put ourselves out there as a global country, city-state, in order to get connections with the different countries. And I mentioned there's a trade port that was founded back then by Sir Stamford Raffles. So we came together, and you know what? I actually feel like I'm doing a history lecture right now. I'm not a professional lecturer on this. I'm just sharing what I know, and I hope this is interesting for you guys. And I hope this will set a good base for the rest of the guests that we'll be inviting onto our show, because this is something that will make a lot of sense when you see how we are like and what are the differences we have with different countries. Yeah. So continuing on, with that, he believes in bilingualism. He believes in two other things actually, and that's a very important thing that shapes how Singapore is like today. He's Chinese himself. He believed in the Asian philosophy values, and together he also believed in meritocracy. So what exactly is that? Very interesting. For us, if you see Singapore today right now, we work really hard, and then it seems like there's this word in Singapore called kiasu, and it means to be afraid of losing. And why that's so interesting is because this entire, like, I have to succeed, I have to go and fight for the things that I want, I don't want to lose, I want to win in this entire race. This entire mentality is all from this part of meritocracy base that's set up back in the 1960s onwards, and then they got set up, and then all of us, we naturally know that we have to put in a lot of effort. We want to have something, and that's something also that is reflected in our policy. Actually, we have no minimum income or minimum wage because we believe that we have to work for it. Of course, there's still a lot of incentives from the government and that provides us with help, but other than that, there's actually nothing much. That it's all by ourselves. So that's how that started. So that's a little brief history about Singapore. I don't know if that's interesting. If that's interesting for you, why not you show me some heart and give me some reaction. 만약에 재미있으셨다면 이렇게 하트 눌러주시고. Oh, you're asking me why I can speak Korean like this? When I speak Korean, do I sound Korean? 제가 한국어로 얘기할 때 한국인처럼 얘기하나요? Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. 감사합니다. That's not because I'm not Korean. Some people ask me if I'm Gyopo. No, Gyopo is like Korean, overseas Korean. I'm not overseas Korean. But oh, 강아지, that's really cute. We have a little dog next to me. Are you gonna be my friend, talking with me? Yeah. I actually learned Korean with like a lot of different um, methods, and I talk to people like this too. So this is actually like what we're doing right now, and talking about our different countries with different people. That's how I've learned Korean, and also together with some really interesting applications. I've got a friend who's got this application called Flip, and Flip application is actually something that you can use to connect with the different people around the world for language exchange. And together with that, there's also Hello Talk. It's similar to Hello Talk, but for Flip, what's good about it is that it's connected together with Doran, which is actually a Korean learning tutor app. It's together with the Korean college tutors, so you can actually go there and you interact with them in lifetime, and then you learn from your peers. You talk like friends. You can learn like with the different hashtags that you want. If you want to learn K-pop, go and talk about K-pop with this teacher. If you want to learn about I don't, for me myself, I'm actually Christian. I'm so interested in Korean Christian theology and the Korean words that's involved in that. So I would go for that. So this is something that's very interesting. And Winnie, we lost you for a sec. Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Am I good? 1, 2, 1, 2. 여기 잘 안 들린다고 하네요. 갑자기 제 목소리 안 들린다고. Thank you for your reflection, Ubins. Can you hear me now? Is it good? Is it fine? I'll just keep on talking. Please let me know if I'm fine so far. And yeah, just show me through that. Yeah, through the reaction. Yes, 된다고 하네요, 지금. Hi, Ubins. It's nice to have you react together. Can I just know where you're from? And if you put that TT sign, it means you're from Korea, right? 그쵸? 지금 그 우는 이모티콘 보면 the screen just went off. 오케이. 아까 화면 안 나온다고 하네요. Yeah. All right. Wow, where was I? I was talking about this app. Yeah. Hi, you're from Korea. I am so glad to meet you. Like, your English is really good. I would have thought you were from somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah, you're so natural in talking in in English. Thank you so much. I hope I'm not too fast. If you actually wonder my accent, it is very weird. And here's what I'm actually going to next, because I want to talk about the language of Singapore. A little bit earlier, I talked about the bilingualism that we have to study when we're really young. So we learned English and all the other topics we have, whether it's English, math, science, geography, history, everything is in English. But we also learned mother tongue as a separate subject in school since we are in kindergarten. So we have to learn all of them together. But the thing is, back then when I talked about 3 different people. I talked about Sang Nila Utama, who first discovered the Malayan. I talked about Sir Stamford Raffles, who built Singapore as a trade city, port. And then I talked about Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, who set up the base and is our first prime minister in Singapore. So from then on, we have also, I said that Mr. Lee Kuan Yew actually really values multiracialism. So we have different races, and we have to speak a common language to live together. And this is something that I just found out a bit earlier while preparing for this, actually. We have nationalism, right? I hope this is not like 2 big words. I have no idea what that is in Korean. Nationalism, 민주주의? No. 민주주의 is democracy. I'll ask the PD over here. PD님 혹시 이게 민족마다 이렇게 분리시키는 그런 정책이 뭐예요? 아이디올로지가 뭐예요, 이거? 민주주의가 아니라 한국어로 진짜 생각이 안 나요. 우리 PD님도 지금 곤란하시네요. Okay, PD name is out. Ubin, if you know exactly what I'm talking about, please let me know. It's called nationalism. So there's ethnic nationalism. It's about the different, maybe you're from this ethnicity, then you can enjoy certain rights. You can from this ethnicity, you enjoy maybe less rights. 이게 그 민족마다 얼마나 베네핏이 누릴 수 있는지, 정책에서 얼마나 베네핏 받을 수 있는지 그건데 네 그거 지금 보면은 많은 그런 차별로 보긴 하는데 PDD 너무 곤란하신다. Okay, I will not bother PDD. I just asked her about what it is in Korean. She's really bothered. It's okay. She's like doing this right now. Okay. Other than that, for Singapore, actually, it's not the ethnic nationalism, but we believe in something else. We believe that in civic nationalism, which is we have to be building a national identity. So this is something very interesting. I want to share with you a story. So you might be wondering why I'm in Korea and why is this Singaporean girl? I'm actually still in university. I study in Nanyang Technological University. Why am I here in Singapore for like? Well, I'm supposed to be in school, right? I took a semester break for 4 semesters. I'm on my 4th semester right now, and I'm in Korea doing really great things. I am so blessed. I'm really lucky to meet very good people here, and one of whom is actually the church pastor that I met in Korea. No, don't worry, this is not anything like religious, come and believe in this or that. I'm not gonna say all of these, but this is my story. I came in and like the necklace that I'm wearing, actually, you can see I'm Christian, and we're actually building really interesting things from Korea together with Singapore. So Korea and Singapore, we actually connected through this project called City Worship Project, and then we're connected and we online together on Metaverse. Actually, we come and worship together every alternate Friday. So that's what we do. And why I talk about this is because that when we went to Singapore to launch City Worship Project, we actually met one of the boys over there, and then he was our drummer for the band, and then he was really sad because we're asking him, so why are you so down? Why is your face so black? And then he said, oh, I'm going to military in English, and in Korean is 군대 간다고. 그때 그 청년이 기억나시죠, PD님? 그 청년이 군대 간다고 하는데, and then we asked him, so what? Yeah, so it must be really tough, right? And then we were like, okay, we wanna. Same thing in Korea. Like when we say somebody goes to 군대, and just like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. We say that, but then he actually came to us and he said, no, I'm actually not sad because of that, but I realized I have to be more serious. I have to be a real man, and I like 군대. I like military. 그쵸, PD님, 어떻게 군대 좋아하는 사람이 들어본 적 없죠? Exactly, in Korea, there's nobody that you say, I love 군대. Nobody who says that. But in Singapore, this man, he said that, and then we asked him, oh, so why are you so supportive of 군대, of military? And he said this, the country has to exist, then I will exist. We have to give a round of applause to him, really. The country exists, that's why I exist. And this is something that I really remember. His name is Joshua, by the way. I want to give my biggest applause to Joshua. Joshua really, he's the epitome of what I want to talk about civic nationalism, because this entire identity, it's not so much of what we call in Korean 애국심. It's not just patriotism, but it's about really, because the country has to exist. It's really true for Singapore. The country has to exist such that we exist, because we are not like Korea. We don't have a long history of from the Joseon dynasty all the way till now. We don't have anything like that. We don't have our traditional costume. Korea has hanbok. In China, they have their own costume. In India, they have their own sari costume. But for us, we have nothing. We have like food, maybe. But it's all really young. It's nothing that's super special, that's like, oh, that is from Singapore yet. And what we see ourselves from in Singapore is actually multiracialism, but that's not something that's very solid. But this national identity that we have, this closeness that we have, that Singapore first, right? That identity itself is something that if we write hashtags about different countries, like maybe Korea's hashtag is kimchi, then for us it will be Singapore's hashtag is Singapore, because we put the nation first. So that's civic nationalism that happened in Singapore till now, actually. So that's something, I don't know, is it very fresh for you guys? Is it something that's very, oh, I don't understand about this. I don't think I can live like that. Or maybe you think, that's actually pretty good. I want it in my country too. You just let me know in your reactions. You can give a thumbs up if you think that's true. If you can sit down and yes, Ada, please sit down if you want. You can dance too if you want. Yeah, we can have a dance break time later if you want to. Yeah, so that's a little bit about Singapore. And I was talking about my accent. Look, this is the thing about talk show with just the MC, because with just the MC, you're gonna talk all everywhere and then nobody's gonna stop you, right? My role in the next few episodes will be to stop people when they go too long. And please trust me on that, because I'm good at telling honest opinions, and I want to just also say that in this show, in this youth branding talk concert, youth branding is because we're all a bunch of youths and we want to express the most honest opinions that a lot of us couldn't express back then. And if you wonder why I'm keep looking at this, because I see you guys here, so I keep looking this way. Yeah, we want to give the most honest opinions and the most beneficial things that you want, the most candid representation of this place that I want to give to you. Yeah, so are you guys gonna send me some things too? PD님 지금 선물을 누르시네요. If you guys wanna support me, support this show, you don't have to support me. If you wanna sponsor this show, if you think this is good content, and I wanna subscribe to this content, you can follow our host, what's the host? 청춘브랜딩. You can follow the host, subscribe to the host, or you can find us on. Wow, thank you. You're the best. 나는야. Yeah, PD님 아니시죠? All right. If you guys want to support, please continue to support us. And continuing on what do you? Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I want this to be more interactive. 제가 질문을 드릴게요. 지금 제 accent, my accent right now, what does it sound like? Like, does it sound? It definitely is not American. It's not British. It's not Australian. It is. What is my accent? What is my accent now, right? I'm just gonna give you a little bit of time while I drink some water, and I'll just ask this again in Korean. 지금 제 영어 accent, it sounds like Konglish. accent는 어떤 액센트일까요? 어떤 발음일까요? 지금 미국 발음도 아니고 영국 발음도 아니고 싱글리시. 정답 이렇게 말해버리면 어떡해요? 아유, okay, give me some time. Okay, I just want to drink some water. Okay, you can take. Is it Singlish? Is it really Singlish? All right. Ubins is a really genius person. She got the answer. Thank you for giving me the right answer. But Singlish itself, I don't know if you know so much about it, but Singlish is actually really interesting because I actually major in linguistics, and this is something so interesting that I discovered together while learning, is that if you hear what I am saying, there's a mix. I'm not representative of the most Singlish, okay? Because I've been living in Korea for a while and everybody here uses pretty much American English. So I don't speak the most Singlish. I'm actually trying my best to speak Singlish during this show. I don't think I'm doing a very good job. But if I say Singlish, right, then people will remember this. They'll say like, oh, you're the ones who add the la, you're the ones who add the la lo me all the way behind every sentence. We do that, but that's actually from Cantonese, which is it's arguable, but it's a dialect in Chinese, or we call it a variety in China. But where you can hear the Cantonese inside, you can actually hear some words that are from Malay. You can hear some words from Tamil, which is one of the languages used in India. You can hear English, UK, because UK used to be, we used to be a UK colony, right? So you can hear that. And we spell in the British spelling as well. So we spell like neighbor with a U, you know? We spell practice with a S. And all that very interesting stuff. and something interesting that I learned. Maybe I'm going a little bit too much about the language. I hope it's interesting for you guys because I love languages and I can talk about languages all day long. Okay, remember I was saying about how I've been practicing and doing language exchange. I talked about the Flip app just now. I was like talking about all of this, and then I can talk about that with like people for 8 hours straight, and then it's very fun for me. Yeah. So Singlish. Let me give you an example. Maybe you guys, do you want to write a sentence? Maybe Ubin or Ada or I don't see all of you. Lion or 나는야. Any of you want to write about any sentence, and I will translate that to Singlish. Hi, we have a new friend here. It's Grape 54. You have very cool hair. It's nice to meet you. Your hair is amazing. All right. Yeah, we're just going a little bit of activity here right now because I'm introducing what Singlish is, and then I want to show you guys the difference between English and Singlish and yeah, English and Singlish, and what's the differences behind. So if you guys can write a sentence in English, 만약에 영어로 문장을 쓰신다면 그럼 제가 싱글리시로 한번 바꿔볼게요. I will change that to Singlish and show you what kind of beauty there is in Singlish. And while waiting for you guys to type, maybe I'll give an example. So one example would be, have you eaten already? I've got new friends. Welcome to Youth Branding Talk concert. We have this new friend called 슈크림 붕어빵? 피디님 아니시죠 이번에? 진짜 아니죠? 슈크림. 배고프네요. All right. We're doing this activity, I was saying. So, well, I'll show you 3 different kinds. I hope this is interesting for you guys. 3 different kinds of English. Okay, this is English, American English, standard English. Then I will show you Singaporean English, and then I'll show you Singlish. And you'll see why Singlish has like all different kinds of language elements that's inside. Okay, so we talk about English first. Have you eaten? 밥 드셨나요? Have you eaten? Singaporean English. Have you eaten? 여기의 차이점 무엇일까요? There's a difference here. The difference here, thank you. Well, the difference here is the accent, right? So I'm saying the same words. Have you eaten? I have no idea how to do British accent. If there's anybody who's British here, please forgive me. Have you eaten? Anyway, so it's the accent changes, like British accent, have you eaten, American accent, and then am I going to the Korean classes? Korean classes, grade 54S. Am I going to the Korean classes? This is actually not a Korean class. It's actually just Youth Branding Talk concert about all kinds of differences between different countries. Where are you from, grade 54? We've got people from all over the place in this talk show. And actually for the future episodes, I'm gonna have guests coming, and they're all from different places as well, and we're going to talk about a various interesting range of topics. So yeah, do come tomorrow. The next one is actually tomorrow. 다음 거는 내일이죠. 내일 same time at 3 p.m. and then we have one on Thursday as well. We're going to have a guest 3 p.m. Korean time as well, and then next Tuesday is the last one for February before we change to a different city. We have a guest from different city. You're from Vietnam. Okay. Forgive me, okay? Xin chào. Is that correct? Xin chào? You kind of have a British accent. That's really cool, actually. I think a lot of I feel very close to Vietnam because I'm from Singapore, and then I do know that a lot of us we don't have the best British accent, but we do kind of have a little bit of British influence because of the history. But for me, like I was sharing a bit earlier before you came in, grade 54, before you came in, I have a more American influence as I live in Korea. For the longer that I live in Korea, the more I speak with an American accent. But okay, we're going too far. So I talk about have you eaten? Then in Singaporean English, have you eaten? We kind of just break the word eaten up into eaten. And then what do you think it would be in Singlish? Do you want? You can type your guesses here. You can 한번 맞춰보셔도 돼요. How do you say that in Singlish? Right. The answer. I'll type it for you guys. Okay, I'll type it for you guys. And I want you guys to try and pronounce it. Okay. Okay. This is the. Okay, Ubin's not too far. That's like the super lazy method. I actually think Ubin's actually from Singapore. You know too much about Singapore, you know. Yeah, so you eat already meh. So I'm gonna try the best. You eat already meh? You eat already meh? You kinda don't hear the words in between. You ready meh? You ready? You eat? Yeah. That's Singlish. Isn't it interesting? That's why a lot of people who speak, we go around the world and we're like, we speak English. And people come to Singapore and they don't understand a single thing. That's actually a very interesting. So you guys know this very famous football player in Korea, 손흥민, 맞아요? So very handsome, very cool football player here. I enjoyed the World Cup this time around. Yeah. So he actually went to Singapore. You guys can go find Mothership and search Son Heung-min. He was invited to Singapore for the news Mothership, and he tried to speak some Singlish, and guess what it means? It was so difficult. He didn't understand a single thing. We have so many influences from Cantonese and from Hokkien, and that's because actually that's part of the southern part of China that's very close to Singapore. So if you look at the map, you can actually see how close they are. Thank you for saying that it's very native. I had a lot of Vietnamese friends when I came to study Korean in Korea. And in fact, this place that we're filming at, if you want to know what it is, come and type down in the chat box. I'll tell you where it is. But this place that we're filming at right now, right beside there's such delicious pho. It's very, very good, okay? I am a food lover. I really enjoy Vietnamese food. I love mint. I don't know if you love mint too. I love mint so much. And I'm surprised to find out a lot of Korean people don't like mint. Anyway, so that's the first activity. Okay, the next one I'll try to let you guys figure out what Singlish could be here. Okay, what about this? Do you know where the toilet is? We say toilet in Singapore, by the way. We don't say washroom or WC or water closet or bathroom. We don't use any of that. We say toilet. It's not the pyonggi, okay? Not pyonggi. It's what we call the washroom, 화장실 in Singapore. So in English, if I want to ask, it would be, do you know where the washroom is? Do you know where the toilet is? Do you know where the WC is? How will I ask that in Singlish? I think Ubin will get the answer again. Like she's like, come on, I think you actually lived in Singapore, even if you're not Singaporean. I actually think you lived in Singapore. Oh. Wait, who's the one dancing together thing? We have Bungeopbang dancing. Very very supportive. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's see who's inside. We have oh, very interesting names. Okay, let's see. Any guesses? How would I say where is the washroom in Singlish? Oh, welcome to OEU. Yeah, welcome to Youth Branding Concert. All right, I'll give a little bit of clue. You have to add something to the end. You have to add something to the end. Where is the... Okay, I'll tell you the answer. I know it's not easy. So this is something that you really cannot learn outside of Singapore. You have to live in Singapore and or talk to a Singaporean for a long time in order to understand. Where is the toilet? You know, I think you're actually. Come on, don't lie to me. I think you're in Singapore right now, aren't you? You're in Singapore right now, aren't you? Where's the toilet? So this is like when you ask someone and then this person doesn't answer you, right? So you want to ask again and you're like kind of frustrated a little bit like, so where's the toilet lah? Where's the toilet? So that's how you ask. You have to ask in this accent too. But if you're asking for the first time, then it could be, where's the toilet? Ah? So you actually ask with the you go up. Welcome Debbie08 and another new friend that we have. I want to give a little wave to you guys. Let me just wave to you guys too. Hi, my name is Winnie and I'm currently doing Youth Branding Talk Concert. I'm the MC for this entire series and I'll be inviting a lot of global friends together with me for the next couple of episodes of our show for the next 2 months, and then we're going to talk about the differences and similarities in our countries and do some exchange, and we hope that it will be the most honest and candid version for you guys and you will understand and love this show. Thank you for saying hi. It's so nice to meet you. Right now we're doing a little bit of activity because I'm from Singapore and we speak Singlish, which is okay, it's actually not just Singaporean English, but it's a very special kind of English that we use in Singapore. And right now we actually have a lot of people participating. We have Ubin, who's a genius in guessing Singlish because I think she's a genius. Okay, and maybe Debbie, you can join us together. Right now we just had 2 different examples. We had, have you eaten already? In Singlish it's, you eat already meh? Okay, I should like do the turn. Okay, then we had the second one, where is the washroom? And Ubin guessed it. It's like, where's the toilet lah? Where's the toilet? Say hi for Philippines. Hi Philippines. I really love Philippines. I actually teach languages as well. So a little bit about me. I know for you guys who have been here from the first time until now, you hear me say this like a couple of times. Please forgive me. I'm actually currently a student still in Singapore. I'm in Nanyang Technological University studying, and my major is on linguistics. And I've actually been in Korea for the past 2 years, and then I've went through all kinds of translation tests and qualifications, and I love translation. So I speak Korean, English, and Mandarin Chinese, and then yeah, I teach languages as well. Thank you for dancing. I love your dance, Debbie. And yeah, so if you guys need to find out more about this kind of language and anything that you want to ask, and I do teach as well, you can always look out for you can search live class. Actually, I don't remember the website at all, but if you search New Entertainment Live Class with a K, not with a C, and then you see English with Winnie, or like you see different kinds of like languages, interesting things with Winnie, then you can find me, and then we can connect with me. You want to go Korea too? I'll wait for you here. It's your dream. Yeah, so I really love this whole idea about what SK Telecom is doing, because this global influencers program it helps us connect like this, right? Like me and Debbie and Ubin's actually very important role, because we need people like Ubin to also tell us about Korea, be very open and global in nature, international in nature, to tell us about what we need. And I think I'm very lucky and blessed to be in this role, because right now I can find different people and call on you guys to come and share with us. When you share with me, you're sharing together on this show with so many people about your country, about why you want to come to Korea, about anything that you're curious about and you never got to ask, and wherever you are, and maybe you don't have the most honest answers, but we hope this is a place that you can find all the most honest answers that you need. And yeah, and I just hope this will be an enjoyable time for you. Right now, the time is actually 3:44 in Korea, and we're gonna end this show in 6 minutes already. And if there's anything that you guys were like, oh, I found this, it's really cool, this is something really fun, and I hope you guys can talk about this more, you can type down in the chatting box, and then I'll tell the PD name right here. She's staring at me right now. I'll tell the PD name right here, and then we'll talk about this program, so we'll add more content to it. And if you are really enjoying this show, why not you give a bit of sponsor and support to us too. All right, Debbie says, I want to learn Korean accent. So you want to learn Korean accent for English? Is that what you're saying? What do you think about this, Ubin? I think Ubin can talk about this more. Okay, you actually live in Singapore. I knew it. 피디님, 우리 우빈 씨가 사실 싱가포르에서 5년 동안 살았대요. 그래서 다 답할 수 있는 거예요. Okay, but honestly, 5 years is not a super long time if you really want to look at it. So I think you're just a good language learner. I actually want to give you a hug. Oh my god. Why don't you come and hug me on Avatar? Where is, can you hug with Avatar? Okay, you know what? I'll just show you a little bit of heart. So nice to meet you. Yeah, I don't know how this works, but if you can like follow on I프랜드, you can follow 청춘브랜딩, the host, and then sign up for every time we get a new episode. You want to mean I thought you meant, Debbie, that you want to learn Korean accent for English, because it's very interesting. When I learn Korean, I don't know if my Korean friends here in this show right now will understand this. It was so hard when you have Konglish, you have 외래어. Like this was one of the hardest things. Like it's a very easy word. 포크. Why don't you guess what that means, Debbie? I had a hard time guessing what 포크 means. 우리 PD님도 포크 진짜 외국인들한테 얼마나 어려운지 알아요? 진짜 어려워요. 포크. 왜냐면 포크 sounds like pork, and at the same time it also sounds like fork because there's no like F sound in Korean. So when somebody came to me and he's like, 포크 필요하세요? And I'm like, no, I don't need pork. I have enough. I have enough. 삼겹살. I don't need pork. No, they're like, no. pork 필요하세요? No, I don't need pork. It's actually fork. It's actually fork because they know I'm a foreigner and I might not use chopsticks very well. So they came to me and they're like, do you need a fork? And I'm like, no, I don't need pork. So all these kind of very interesting things that happened. That's not the only one. I remember I was reading a Korean text. 이데올로기. This word came up. And I want Debbie to guess what 이데올로기 맞나요? 이데올로기? Yeah, what that means. Because I never figured out. And the people around me, they're telling me, this is English. I'm like, no, that's not English. 이데올로기. What do you think that means? It's actually an English word. It has 8 letters to it. 이데올로기? 이데올로기? Yeah. It was so difficult. Okay, listen to this, okay? 이데올로기, Korean accent. Ideology, English accent. 전혀 상상을 못하는 거죠. Ideology, ideology. It's not English. And they tell me this is English. And then I learned this. And then I'm like, wow. So Korean has it's actually very interesting too. I was sharing about Singapore and how Hokkien, Cantonese, Tamil, Malay, everything's like mixed together in Singlish. But Korean itself has a very special kind of mix for English and Korean as well. So I remember watching a show too. It's very interesting about how like they tell the Koreans, do you wanna can you express this without using 외래어, which means the Konglish words? So like in Korean, you find everybody saying, like when they pay, you call it 카드. And you have 핸드폰. And you're like, okay, don't use the word 핸드폰, don't use the word 카드. They don't know what to use. 우리 PD님 한번 해보실래요? 만약에 카드 안 쓰려면 그럼 땡땡 결제해 주세요. 어떻게 얘기할 수가 있어요? 카드 안 쓰면 I'm asking her if I don't use the word card, what can you use? 아니 현금 말고 카드 다른 말로. Okay, she looks very bewildered right now. Yeah, she doesn't know what it is. 카드 말고는 없어요. 그쵸? So this is how much like language has like English itself has infiltrated into even Korean where I'm living at right now. And you know what? With all of these interesting language facts, and maybe you want to learn more about them too, I love researching about these. And recently, this really cool thing has been coming up, ChatGPT, right? So you guys have heard about it. Have I met Blackpink? Yeah, I met them. Yeah, only in the train stations because in train stations they have like this big like banner things. And yeah, no, I have not met Blackpink. No. I've met SM Town people though. Yeah, but no, I haven't met Blackpink. I've met like because this area is actually Mapogu, so is a lot of places where a lot of entertainment companies are at. I've actually met some other people at cafes by coincidence. I don't know who they are. They don't know who I am. Yeah. Anyway, so if you want to find out more about all these interesting language facts, or you want to find out more about this global connection and talk more, I was talking about the few episodes that we have in the future with different people from different countries. But every month, at the end of the month, we actually have this time where we invite you guys to come up and talk with us as well. Instead of just always typing in the chat, you can come up and then we'll do a little bit of fun activity and panel talk. So I hope you guys will stay all the way to the end and support us all the way till the end. And yeah, I think that's about it for the end of today. Every time we have a 15-minute episode, and it's only when you guys shout like encore or you want more that we can extend it a little bit next time. But yeah, we have a range of very important and fun things. And in fact, this is actually organized by New Entertainment. So New Entertainment has their own artists as well. So you can, maybe if you want somebody to come and talk about K-pop, which we will talk about it next time, we'll have these friends come up, sing for us, dance for us, and then we talk about the differences and the global nature of that as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today Youth Branding Talk Concert. I'm gonna wrap it up today. Again, my name is Winnie and I'm from Singapore. In this show of Youth Branding Talk Concert, you will be able to see friends from many different countries, from Singapore to Canada to China to all around the world. And you guys, today we have people from Vietnam. We have very friendly Korean friends. Ubin, I remember you. And all of this talk is really meaningful. And I hope that for the few meaningful sessions that we're gonna have in the end of this month, you will still join us. And we'll see you very soon again. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you can give yourselves a round of applause for being such great audience as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you so much. This is Winnie. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.